Want to hear one rather unique trade for Zion going around? We got your back. Zion Williamson is someone who has been of interest to the NBA and beyond for years now. He was branded the next chosen one of the NBA due to both his size and athletic ability, something he showed in grand form in high school and then when he did his 1 year at Duke. But in truth, his time in the NBA has been mixed at best. When he's on the court, he's dominant. But he's off the court a lot more thanks to injuries, which is why many trade rumors surround him, including one that is very unique indeed. State of New Orleans. The New Orleans Pelicans have been one of the best surprises in the entire NBA this season after starting out the year with an abysmal 1-12 record in their first 13 games. Even more impressive, they have done so without their face of the franchise, Zion Williamson, who has been sidelined the whole season due to injury despite being projected multiple times to return to the court. Earlier this season, they traded for veteran guard C.J. McCollum from the Portland Trail Blazers, and he has fit in seamlessly playing with 2020 NBA All-Star Brandon Ingram. And now, one person thinks that their best trade option is to go back to the Trailblazers and pick up another of their stars, Damian Lillard. State of Zion. The Pelicans had Williamson for last season, and the former Duke superstar was an all-star and averaged an incredible 27 points per game on over 61% shooting from the field. However, the team with Williamson and Ingram went just 31-41, which did not even qualify them for the play-in tournament. They were the 11th seed. And it should be noted that many feel that the play-in tournament was done because of Zion in his rookie season. Just saying. Williamson has also only played in 85 games through his first 3 seasons due to injuries, and did not appear in a single game this year as noted. The Pelicans clearly have found momentum with Ingram, McCollum, and all of their role players. And despite not having Zion in the playoffs, they took the Phoenix Suns, the number 1 seed overall, and the team many feel could win the NBA title, to a very difficult 6 games in the first round of the playoffs. Something no one predicted given how underpowered the Pelicans were. Yet, their team almost scored a big upset without Zion. So, what happens when you plug in a player that is not injured and is very consistent? Lillard. Meanwhile, Damian Lillard is on the Trailblazers, who have no shot at contending as the roster is currently constructed, and he will be 32 years old next season. Swapping the 2 stars and salary fillers to make the deal work could be the best outcome for both parties. The Pelicans could reunite Lillard and McCollum, who had played together for nearly a decade and made a Western Conference Finals appearance in 2019, while the Trailblazers could begin their rebuild with a 21-year-old All-Star. Lillard and McCollum have never played with a third star anywhere near the caliber of Ingram. He could be the missing piece for the star duo to make a legitimate run at their first NBA Finals. They also avoid the long-term injury risk that Williamson carries, which could hamper any plans that the franchise has to make a deep run in a postseason in the future. The twist here is that Lillard has said repeatedly that he doesn't want to leave Portland. Then again, that's not his call. If the Trailblazers think they can establish themselves in the future for him, they just might do that. The other twist here is Zion. Speaking to the media for the first time since September, the New Orleans Pelicans forward was asked if he'd sign the extension he is eligible for this summer if the team offered one. Of course, Williamson said, "I couldn't sign it fast enough." Williamson is eligible to sign a 5-year, $181 million max rookie extension this summer. But after missing all of the 2021-22 season with a right foot fracture, he has played in just 85 games in his 3-year career. Pelicans coach Willie Green said it was nice to hear Williamson say he wants to stay in New Orleans, but he's focused on the basketball side of things. "I love that he wants to be here, that he wants to be in the gym, working towards getting healthy, working towards being the best player he can be," Green said. "We love anyone who wants to be here in New Orleans with this community, with this culture. That's what we want." Williamson called this season a rough year, as he wasn't able to be on the court. In January, he started to rehab in Portland away from the team and didn't return until early March. Once he rejoined the team, Williamson said it helped to put him in a great space. "Being around the guys, being in Smoothie King Center, seeing that playoff environment," Williamson said, "and the locker room, we have a special locker room. My first 2 years, it was a good locker room. But this year, I guess maybe it was the playoffs. It was more together." Being real, it sucks watching from the sideline. I just want to be out there, just seeing the potential. We have a lot of great pieces. I'm excited to get out on the court with those guys. Williamson started playing 5-on-5 with teammates and coaches late in the season and into New Orleans' playoff run. While he was never cleared to play actual games, Williamson said Friday he felt he could have, but that he decided along with the coaching staff and front office that staying out would be the best for him long-term. Pelicans Vice President of Basketball Operations David Griffin said Williamson is still a few weeks away from the next set of imaging that could ultimately clear him for good. And that would be when we cross the bridge of, okay, he can do what he wants to do in terms of getting ready for next season without any limitations, Griffin said. If it's 2-a-days, great. If it's 3-a-days, great. His workload won't be monitored at that point, we hope. And at the same time, we've gotten to a point before where we felt confident that he was coming. So we have to be realistic in that situation too. So really, it's going to be about let's put him in the best position to succeed physically heading into next season. And I think he's committed to that based on what he told you today. Overcoming injuries. Due to Williamson's injury history, the Pelicans could look to put protections into the deal much like the Philadelphia 76ers did in October 2017 with center Joel Embiid, who played just 31 games in his third season after missing his first 2 years because of a foot injury. When the extension talks go down, Griffin added that it will be a challenge. When it's time to have that, we'll have it, Griffin said. And right now, what we're focused on is him being healthy and kind of elite condition to play basketball. And we'll start there. I think once we get to that point, all these conversations get a lot easier. Williamson credited Brandon Ingram and Green with the change in the locker room. He also brought up his relationship with CJ McCollum, one that got off to a very public start. At the All-Star break, during a segment with TNT, McCollum, a week and a half after he was traded to New Orleans, told the crew that he hadn't spoken to Williamson yet and that he was going to get to the bottom of it. When asked about his relationship with McCollum, Williamson stared directly into the camera. "Mr. McCollum, that's just a little payback. Mr. I'm going to get to the bottom of it," he said with a big smile. CJ is a great dude. The short amount of time that I've been around him, I've learned so much from him. Great teammate. I'm excited to get out on the court with him. McCollum and Williamson's relationship has grown, with McCollum telling ESPN last month that the two even have sat next to each other at team dinners and pick each other's brains for hours. Honestly, I was focused on rehabbing around that time, Williamson said of not speaking to his new teammate right away. I texted CJ shortly after to apologize about that. Like I said, I was mentally not in a good space. Mr. McCollum, he was cool about that. Like I said, I'm excited to get on the court again. But whether you'll get on the court again with the Pelicans, that's the question. So what do you think? What do you think of this look at the opinion trade of Zion for Lillard? Does this make any sense to you? Do you think that something like this would even work? Or do you think that this is a reach and just the latest out there trade rumor that is surrounding the potential superstar? What do you think Zion will do next? Let us know in the comments below, and we'll see you next time on the channel.